Welcome to the mapping method of revision. This method is so adaptable and it can be applied to virtually to all subjects. In this program, I will consider concentrating on what I call brain trees, or as you would know them, mind maps developed by Tony Buzan. In my adaptation, I will consider three different types. That is, note brain trees, study brain trees, and master brain trees. My major concentration in this session will be on the first two, note brain trees and study brain trees. Brain trees, like anything else, has got rules. Let me just go through some of those rules. Number one, you have to be very clear about the topic or subject which you're mapping. For instance, if you're drawing one on the digestive system, you have to be very sure the parameters of your subject. For instance, if you're studying at O level, it will take you to a certain level of knowledge. If you're taking A level, you have to go into much more detail. The next one is use emphasis. Make your maps as works of art. Use association. The brain has this awesome tool within it to link information together. You also have to develop your own personal style. A brain tree has no limits in terms of size. If you need to expand it beyond your paper area, then attach another piece of paper to it and carry on drawing. Don't limit your thinking through lack of space. You must always write along the line, but we'll come to that in a moment. Try and use uppercase whenever possible. Why? Because you can create in that text memory triggers. Brain trees contain lines. No part should ever be straight or curve your lines. Just as nature. Have you ever seen many straight branches? Very few. We have to grow trees with straight you have to grow trees to enable them and farm them to get straight planks of wood. Naturally, they always are curved. The center core should not be greater than 10% of the paper area, and make them colorful. If you put in words in the center, vary the size and style of the letters and text. The absolute rule. Now, this is the one where 90% of all students make a mistake. You must write along the line. I cannot emphasize that too much. For if you put it at the end of the line, like where I've written not like this, you can see that you'll very quickly run out of space. This will limit your thinking. No, you must always write along the line. If you use this method, you will say the patterning didn't work for you. And you'll blame it on the technique and not on your method of using it. So let us start mapping for real effect. Start in the center with an image of the topic, using at least 3 colors. Use images, symbols, codes, and dimensions throughout your tree. Select keywords and print using upper and lowercase letters. Each word image must be alone and sitting on its own line. The lines must be connected, starting from the central image. The central lines are thicker, organic, and flowing, becoming thinner as they radiate out from the center. Make the lines the same length as the word or image. This I will show you in examples in a moment. Use colors. Use your own code throughout the tree. Develop your own personal style of construction. Use emphasis and show associations in your brain tree. Keep the brain tree clear by using radiant hierarchy, numerical order, or outlines to embrace your branches. Now we've drawn our center core it's 10% of the paper area. Right, the next thing radiating out from it are the main branches. The length of each one should be only slightly longer than the word that you're using. And once again, we will see what words or images and things we put on these brain trees in a moment. The line should be thicker than those used for all other branches. Every main branch should be recognized by one specific color, which should also be different from all other branches. If possible, this color should not be repeated on another brain tree, on another main branch. However, if you do not have enough colors to choose from, and they have to be used more than once, never put similar colors adjacent to each other. When deciding on the position of your main branch on your paper, visualize ahead for your space requirements for the rest of the branch network. Now, stemming out from the main branch are sub-branches. These are the next important level of knowledge. You can attach as many sub-branches to your main branch as necessary. They must always be the same color as the main branch to which they're attached. The length of the sub-branch should only be slightly longer than the word or image used. Only ever use one word. Never use connecting words like and, to, the, consists of. The sub-branch must also be a function of the main branch. But once again, you'll see this clearly as we come to the maps. Twigs and leaves. Twigs and leaves extend the information outwards from the sub-branches. They must also be the same color as the main branch and sub-branches which support them. They must only contain one word or image. Remember to continue using uppercase at all times. The exception to this rule is when we're drawing note brain trees, which you'll see in a moment. Branch networks. All the parts of each branch network must contain information that is a direct function of that network. In other words, the leaves must be a function of the relevant to the twig that supports them. Twigs must be a function of the sub-branch. Sub-branches must be a function of the main branch which supports them. The brain tree can truly be described as an organic structure. Now here's a note brain tree, and you will see what I've been talking about. There are the main branches coming out, traditional models, and then they break out into sub-branches. Those sub-branches break out into twigs. This type of map, note brain tree, I often use for thinking. It's no good for revision because it's muddled up and you can't see definitions, and they're just not suitable. We'll come to the study brain tree in a moment, but I want to get you to understand the concept of mapping. First of all, center core, main branches, sub-branches, twigs and leaves. and out they go into a organic structure. Here's another one. Once again, you can see that that center core need not be contained with words. It can be made as creative and as colorful as you want to make it. There you'll notice all the main branches have got different colors. And there's the words going along the lines. And then they're spanning out over the sub-branches and into the twigs and leaves. So there you have a typical note brain tree. This one is slightly different because it's got a lot of images, so you can even do that if you're really thinking, because every time you put an image in there, you are thinking about the map itself, and if you're thinking about the map itself, it means that you would be thinking about the subject you're writing about, hence you are revising. Now we come to study and revision trees. Now these are a good deal different. So what is a master brain tree? In a way, it's a work of art. The more color images that we can use, the better. Here we make this absolute stipulation: only use uppercase or capitals. Use color, each branch having their own. It can contain pictures, sketches, diagrams and slides, and the ones that you will see on the following maps are all being taken from Google Images, which has got an almost infinite range of images for you. And it can be used brilliantly for integrative revision. For what is the purpose of maps? The purpose of maps is to get a topic onto one sheet of paper. If you can do that, then revision becomes easy, because you can sit, say, in front of the fire and just go through maps, and each map contains the total of a topic. But again, I'll explain this in the following maps. So how to draw a study and revision brain tree. Let's have a look. Have a look at this map here. You will notice how the words really come out. Words, lines, paper, structure, color, images. They really stand out, they come out. Then we look at the sub-branches, once again, all in uppercase. We can vary the text, we can make it different. This particular one is using words, but you can use images instead of those words, as we shall see later on. In this one, what I want you to do is to draw it for yourselves. Get the feel of it. See those thicker lines. See the variation in color. See how you're going to position the text and how you can vary the text and the various color changes that you can make. Have a go now and draw it just as it is. Don't change a thing, and then you will get the right feel of it. How to revise, now we come to, by the mapping method. How to revise by it? Well, let's have a look. In this map, the ideal way of revision is this. You set your center core, and then you draw in your main branches, and you think to yourself, well, what are the main topic areas within the subject of my map? And on this one, on electricity and magnetism, I've filled out one, but left all the rest, as you see. Now, this is a very good way of you finding out what you know and what you don't know. You set the center core, which you would know, electricity and magnetism. Then you would know the different topic areas, like mains electricity, cost of electricity, etc. Let's assume you know potential difference very well indeed. So you can put down all the twigs and leaves, and you can honestly say you know that subject. But the rest you're unsure of. You can't remember. Then you look in your notes and fill out your map. When complete, you'll have a complete topic on one sheet of paper. Then revising. with just one sheet of paper, it is easier than ploughing through your notes on the topic. Examples of revision maps. Let's have a look at some examples. Here's one on the digestive system. Yes, I've drawn it on the computer. Ideally, you would draw it yourself on a sheet of paper. You can see that I've put all the various images that are off Google that I think are necessary. There's my center core. There's my twigs and leaves going out. Notice I've my color control. And there on that one sheet of paper, I have got enough to get an A, enough information there to get an A in that subject on just one sheet of paper. Then on the reverse side, I can paste this, which is brilliant map, isn't it? It is a total image in the center, and there's all the parts. So if I relate my map to this, I have got on that one sheet of paper all the information I need to revise. I don't need any more. I can carry it with me. I can put it in my pocket. I can take it with me anywhere I wish. And here's another one. This one on the reproductive system. Once again, I've done precisely the same. Put in the images, and there is the reverse side. So all as I need, there's one sheet of paper, and I've got a complete picture of the topic. Now this one I've put in here, needs color now. I've drawn the map. Let's assume you were drawing it by hand. So you would first of all use a pencil, and there you are. You put in all the main branches, the sub branches, and the twickets. And there you are. You've got it. But now it needs color. Okay, here's another one. I've put a few images in here. I've gone onto Google and said, right, enzymes, right, okay. I need some images. I've just drawn the basic map. Now I'm ready to color it in. And remember one thing, that it is the act of drawing which is the process of revision. It is the act of drawing which is the purpose of revision. You're actually manipulating, handling, moving the knowledge. You're embedding the knowledge in your brain. Here's one that I've drawn and copied. This is a hand-drawn one. This is how yours should look like in truth. Once again, this is on energy, but on one piece of paper, we have the entire map area. Now I come to a totally different way of mapping. If you're a real, let's say, visual learner, and you're good at art, and you want to use art stemming through all your other subjects, such as science, such as maths, such as everything else, you could draw lots of images which are relevant to it. This one's on engineering, for instance. And the person spent ages thinking about it. You see, visually he's thinking about engineering. And then he adds the words, then he adds the arrows and things like that just to help him. That is equally as acceptable as a map. Here's another one, the natural world. Once again, you can use this sort of drawing. You can use this sort of drawing to make it really expressive for you. Now this one is going much more to the ASL way of, or the linear thinking learner. And this is where we're going to incorporate or merge text with mapping. And you can see it can be done in a very easy way. slightly different, and that map is just as acceptable to the learner, to his revision, as the previous one to the visual learner. Now in this one, there's just one where I'm showing you how you can change, for instance, the word text, but not. There's nothing particular about this one. In the text, there was 1,349 words. In this one, in this pattern, there's only 102. So we've reduced that entire topic down from 1,349 words just to 102. This is an A-level one going through. You can have a look at that one just to show you can map at anything. There's one on AIDS again, an A-level one. Once again, you can map at degree level. You can map at O level. You can map at infant level. You can use these maps everywhere. Finally, I've come to the end of my dialogue on mapping, revision for mapping. Keywords. You save 50 to 90% of the words by using keywords. You save about 90% of time. In revision, it saves you about 50% of time. It develops your focus. It improves concentration. It uses the brain tool of association. It uses trigger memories. When you draw them, it stimulates new thinking approaches, creative, organic, and radiant. It makes additions very easy. All you've got to do is just draw another line. If I wanted to put another line on easy, I can just draw one there and put it on. It improves memory dramatically. And above all, it uses both sides of the brain. I do recommend this method of revision. It makes you think, it makes you embed your knowledge, and it's easy to use. And when you've done it, there is nothing simpler than just looking at one sheet of paper per topic to carry on your revision. Thank you for listening and watching this video.